For this, the Larry Sanders Show, I would always say, if Gary says it don't work, because it's his vision of the show. It doesn't mean it's not funny. I can remember all the jokes I pitched that you didn't like, that I couldn't get on the show, but I always felt like, well, I remember I was pushing a Hank is watching his girlfriend's kid joke. And he's watching the girlfriend's kid, so the kid keeps screwing things up in the office, so he buys a leash for the kid. And then the woman comes back, and he's got this leash, and he's got the kid on a human leash. I remember that you didn't know that people had leashes.
No, I thought that was hilarious. Wasn't when I demanded that be in the show. I don't know what you're talking about.
I remember thinking, oh, how could we not do the Hank with the human leash joke? But in my head, I would go, well, if Gary doesn't get it, I'm not going to sit here pissed off. Let's think of another joke.
Clearly, you're still angry about it.
I'm holding on to it a little bit.
You are. Now, I mean, it sounds hilarious, but now, go ahead and tell me.
I would say this, you have to be conscious that it is not your call. And for certain very funny, and comedians are twisted, that will keep them up at night or make them angry. I mean, make them pissed off. Like,
you're still angry about it. It seems to me
I know, but I deal with it with my therapist. But we have the same therapist, so maybe that's why that works out.
Well, what he told me you said about it was, it seems to me that
Gary,
the kid on the leash.
There's a kid on a leash.
No, I get the kid on the leash. It's going to be so funny in the 40-year-old version. But isn't the kid on the leash? Was there really a place for that scene? Because what was in place of it? Something probably
not as funny.
That it may not have been. It may not have been as, what do you call it?
Do you even
broadly
remember?
Funny? It might not have been as sketch broadly funny.
Do you even remember what that episode was, that storyline? So clearly not a classic.
Well, I mean...
This is what the room was like. This is the crackling tension of the joke fights.
Well, because...
And sometimes I'm right and you're not, but I have to go, hey, that's cool,
This is what happens when a decision goes into your head as opposed to your instinct, because do I remember the exact episode? I'm trying to remember the exact order of that episode. I don't remember the exact order of that episode, but I can intuitively remember that wouldn't be right, that the kid would be on a leash. But I don't remember why right now.
So we cut to the pages full frame of the leash bit?
We should cut to whatever.
Because we could find that, and we'll put up the pages and let the audience read the leash bit.
I'm not so sure that it sounds funny to have the kid on the leash, and it isn't that I didn't know kids weren't on leashes. So like that's where I saw your anger, is because it isn't that I wasn't aware that kids weren't on leashes, Judd.
Gary, kids are on leashes everywhere.
That's right. So but maybe when you pitched it in the violent manner that you just did, maybe it came across as a little, gee, we're going to have a kid on a leash, and then Hank's going to what? Because, I don't know what Hank, the first time that Hank gives the kid a yank, I'm going to go, Judd, now how are we going to cut around this? Because Hank got carried away and he gave the kid a yank. Give me this version that would actually be...
Tell me that we're not going to go with the leash thing because you think it's too broad. I'll do what my look would have been in the writer's room back then.
Well, I'm not sure that I would say that it was too broad now. I was teasing you, but
it doesn't feel right, and I'll do what my reaction would be.
Well, I don't think that feels right.
Well, what do you want to do?
Well, what's in the
scene?
That's
That's right there. That's how it would work.
Well, let's take a look at that
I would say, what do you want to do?
Yeah. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what's in there. We should find that script and see what's in there. What happened?
I have it. It's framed in my house.
What happened? The kid comes in. So what happens? It said the kid is what? Maybe there was no place for that scene.
Yeah.
That's what I recall.
Yeah.
What I recall is there's no place for the scene where he comes home and he's got the kid on the leash.
Yeah.
Is there a scene where he's got the kid anywhere in that show? I think there was no place for the scene. Have I got you here?
I'm only mentioning it to establish this is how a writer's room works. This is the debate that happens in the writer's room over ridiculous things like a leash. But right now, I want to punch you. That's how much I care. But the difference between me and others is I would hold it in, and others would do what they do.
You've had an enormous amount of success since you mistakenly pitched that particular scene. So now you have your confidence really worked up. But I'm asking you, was there a scene in that script at all with the child where Hank has the child at all? Maybe there was just no place where there was time to.
I think it was breaking things in Hank's office.
Do you recall that I actually said no to the leash? How did I say no? Tell me how I did it.
You probably read it and said this doesn't feel
right. What do you mean you probably? See, now you said yes, I
think you read it because we wrote it in an early draft.
Okay, and then tell me.
And then you said,
what did I say?
I'm not really going for the leash thing. Do kids really wear leashes? And I'm like, yeah, they wear leashes. It's funny. Then you do this.
Yeah, you know what that is?
Yeah.
That is...
Feels wrong to you.
It feels wrong. I don't want to hurt Judd's feeling. I understand that this is funny. Oh boy, 8 years from now, this moment's going to be a problem. How to handle it. And I'm not kidding, because I can see...
That's two people pleasers pitching jokes.
Well, this is what you're... But, you know, let's talk about if you were demanding, let's say.
Yeah.
I was open. Like, I would take second and third looks and go, okay, wait, maybe I'm...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not saying that, like, I wouldn't have my day in court.
Did you Leash, on that Leash thing, really go, okay, you're just making a big mistake?
No, because we could think of 30 other Leash things.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I'm illustrating the point.
Intuitively now, I would say, I don't remember the moment, but intuitively now I can feel that probably there's somewhere where that Leash thing with Hank and the child didn't quite, and I can't express why, fit the tone of whatever that scene was. But now we should look at the, you know.
But what I'm saying is this.
No.
It's your call to pick what works and what doesn't work. And when I run a TV show, when I'm running Freaks and Geeks, and it's my call, there's writers, I feel their hostility towards me as I have to say what's funny, what's not funny.
I never sensed your hostility with me.
Well, that's what my therapy is for. And then that's what running a show is. Running a show is, you know, it's painful for writers to stay up all night, give a script, and be told it doesn't work. And in their head, they either think, oh, I suck, and then they're like in pain, or they think, ah, fuck him, I'm smarter than him. But there's all sorts of really heavy dynamics about people's self-esteem that happen in a writer's room.
Right.
Some people don't, like when you say, I can tell some people don't give a shit, they just show up and pitch and they leave. Other people, they put their heart into it and they're devastated. Some people put their heart in it and they can just come up with another one. But it's a very intense work situation, especially when the actors change by the second because we don't know if Bob Saget's showing up or Bob Goldthwait or Dana Carvey. And, you know, the show is basically shot in 2 days and rehearsed in 3 days. You know, that's what makes for, you know, a lot of turnover when you're trying to do something great. Some people just, they can't handle that process. I mean, you have to be willing to say, I'm going to jump in the frying pan for the next 4 months, and this is going to be brutal, but we'll make great shit, and it'll be really fun, but also it'll be rough. We'll be up at 2 in the morning with the script thrown out, and we'll just have to start a new one. And that's, to me, what was fun about it. I liked that part about it. I liked when it would get ugly and painful and everyone would fight. And some people were pussies, Gary. Some people were pussies. Some people hung in there. And the rest?
Yeah. There's nothing that says pussy on the back of your shirt, my friend. That's why you were strong.
I remember Rip wrote on my script in the last episode, he wrote, you were a good soldier. And I went, God damn it, I was a good soldier.
Yeah, that's why you're standing here now getting...
Are we getting paid for
mic'd
this?
Up.
What?
That's why you're standing here now, mic'd up. Some of the pussies aren't mic'd up.
It's a brutal game.